Welcome to DuckCast episode 53.
It doesn't matter. It's season 3. We're getting near season 4. That's all that matters. Yay.
Yeah.
50 something. Yay.
What
Episode
is it
50
again?
something. Cool.
53, I think.
Should I just call the episode 50 something? No, just, or like, instead of the actual numbers, 50 something.
That's stupid.
Yeah, you're stupid. Fuck you.
I missed it.
You know what sucks about tonight? Like,
What
true
sucks?
thing. I had to cancel out on seeing Howie Mandel doing stand-up tonight at the auditorium near me, and I could have got some really nice ha-has, but I'm here with you guys instead. So,
Well, I'm
sucks.
sorry for your misfortune.
yeah.
Welcome back, Chris. Chris hasn't been on since episode 21, the season 2 premiere. And now we are here past the halfway point of season 3.
Hey Chris, how have you been since you got drunk with Mike? Have you sobered up since, or are you still drunk since then? You're never-ending drunkenness.
I never stopped not being drunk.
That red dot on your forehead is gone.
Forget that, but all right. I'm sure
You were the one.
I'm sure that was a moment.
You're the one who found that funnier than anyone. But that's in episode 21, DrunkCast. He just drawed like a little red dot on his forehead and like started wearing I think I used a towel to make it look like a turban. I don't know, something like that.
Oh my god, that was
Classy.
so funny. I missed that.
We're all very racist people, and we should be ashamed.
Yes,
no,
we are.
I mean, the Metal Mouth we did recently, I think I said something about there being only 2 races, but, you know, we're not racist.
Did you? I don't remember. I started listening to that.
I like that episode. It was fun.
Driving. Like I didn't like pull my phone. I don't look at my phone while I drive. I swear to God. But I was in my driveway, and I started. I pulled up my phone, and you uploaded an episode. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll play this. And I plugged my phone in and started driving and listening to it. And then I ended up parking like 5 minutes later because I needed to turn around. And I just checked my phone for directions. But I noticed when I was like getting out of the YouTube app that the new DuckCast, which is the podcast with I Hate Everything, Ralph the Movie Maker, and Your Movie Sucks, was up. So immediately got out of your show.
Yeah, I see how it is. All right.
I still haven't.
Someday my show will be as great as that one. All right.
I do actually really like your show. It's just I was on that one.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. There's not really a reason for me to listen all the way through.
Whatever. I'll get Chris on my next episode, and it'll be great. The show will hit thousands and thousands of views.
You won't get the analytics from me watching it. You would never get the analytics from me watching it, like the view time, someone actually sitting through and watching through the whole thing, because I download your episodes and listen to them.
Wow.
Because I don't have Wi-Fi at work, and I don't have connection. We do have Wi-Fi at work. I can't, for some reason my laptop's not connecting there, so I don't really know. It's not something I've really looked into.
I think that would really hurt me if I actually did make money off of YouTube, but right now oh well.
I would love to do the same, but YouTube Rev isn't as great as it should be.
I don't see the point in doing it at all. I mean, honestly, I feel like people that have a good setup and good internet connection that move over to Twitch, they're doing the right thing currently.
If you want to be an entertainer and you're confident that you can do it, or you want to do something with commentary, you can probably succeed on YouTube if you really just kind of dedicate yourself to it and you know enough about what gets clicks on the website. If you want to do anything creative or artsy, YouTube is a good platform to like throw it out there, but it's you're fucked. I mean,
they're not gonna the site itself and the people behind it. They're hand picking certain things, and it's not really helping out the vast majority. But
even people who I find very talented on this website, again, I'll mention Ralph the Movie Maker and Your Movie Sucks. People love them for the reviews because it's like little comedy reviews before they're talking about someone else's work and making fun of it. But with their own work, Adam from YMS does music and Ralph makes his own films, and those don't get like even a quarter as much attention as the other things do. But they're clearly a lot better. They're clearly, because they're pieces of like they're works of art, while the other stuff they do is just kind of a fun video. But yeah, YouTube's horrible for creative people. Like, I mean, it is.
what was that thing? I forget where I heard it from, but it's like, as bad as it is, it's like at the same time, it's like, are you going to go just not YouTube, but like anywhere? Like, what's a good example? If you want to fly to a place, you're not gonna go to a gas station or anything. You're gonna go to an airport because that's what helps you get from point A to point B. It does what you want the place to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But not the best example, but you know what I mean. It's like with you, there's no other place on the internet that's as good as YouTube and as what's the word?
I will say this though: if you upload an animation to Newgrounds and your name has no recognition, you're probably going to get more views on Newgrounds than you are on YouTube. If you create a film and you have no recognition on YouTube,
Oh God, what happened?
sites are a lot smaller.
What the heck happened there?
What?
Completely cut out for like 10 seconds there. I'm probably gonna have to do a cut there.
What I was saying is, and now I'm kind of losing my train of thought because I was like done, and now I have to remember every single.
I don't know what
said.
that was. You're
talking about.
I know what I was talking about. So like Newgrounds and I remember Newgrounds and Vimeo. They have a lot less traffic than YouTube. Not a lot of people use them, but if you make an animation, it'll probably get more views on Newgrounds. And if you have no recognition on the website, I'm sure if Hot Diggity Demon or Psychic Pebbles uploads an animation, it'll get more attention on YouTube than it will on Newgrounds. But if you have no recognition at all, when you make a short film, as another example, and then upload it to Vimeo, you probably get more views on Vimeo than you would on YouTube if you're not recognized at all. Because the people on those websites, it's a smaller demographic.
Yeah.
It's a smaller number of people, but it's a more specific group. Like they know what they want. They know what they're looking for.
And that's great and all, but like, it's not as mainstream and, if they want...
I agree, and I use YouTube as my main uploading source. I don't use Newgrounds or Vimeo. I think I should use Vimeo.
I thought about going to Twitch and trying to do some video games for them, or like just like be like as creative as I am right now. But Twitch for me, I need
a good one.
Yeah, that is true. And also, like, streaming is like something new to me that I've never truly understood. Like I've tried it, but it always comes out really shitty.
Do you watch any Twitch streamers at all to get like some research?
I have some friends who do Twitch, but I don't go on as much.
No, I mean like any actual streamers like that you just watch.
Not as much.
I can recommend some good ones. Like I've gotten into Twitch like over the summer. And it's like I'm a big fan of it. If I could, I would.
That isn't to say, by the way,
what?
That there aren't some people, some very like creative people out there, on YouTube that do well. I think that Studio C is a great example. They make skits, but they do.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't really matter how good or how poor you are on YouTube. It's like right now the issue is YouTube. That nothing will change that. There's no other alternatives
That's
at the moment.
That's why I'm saying you should go on other. You should like. I think if you. I'm not saying I want to like upload my discussion videos to Vimeo. Like the discussion videos are perfect for YouTube because those actually do attract people. I did a discussion video on BoJack, and that did a lot better than I thought it would, and it's just because that was the right thing to talk about at the right time. Yeah. I timed that one out. The childhood trauma is another one I timed out well, and then other videos I released on the channel, the timing was like really shitty. Like the Shut Up Cartoons thing, I'm completely stopping that, and I'm probably gonna make the videos unlisted too. I did put a lot of time into them, but it's like. Yeah, I thought maybe it'd be an interesting retrospective thing to do, but looking back at it, like, nobody gives a remote shit about that channel anymore, and it's not old enough for anyone to be nostalgic about it, and it's a piece of shit, so probably nobody ever will be nostalgic about it. So it was a stupid, pointless idea that I thought was okay when I first came up with it, and it wasn't, so I stopped. Well, I'm sorry. Let me just say this too. I know I'm going on way too long now, but I'll wrap it up here. The point I was trying to say is a discussion video I think would be a poor idea for Vimeo. But I think if I actually make like a short film, I should put it on Vimeo. I should upload it to other websites other than YouTube because it probably won't do that well on YouTube.
I think it won't do well on Vimeo at all. But yeah,
it could do better on other websites that are specifically looking for stuff like that. Yes, it could.
Who uses Vimeo? Who uses Vimeo?
Actually, I do a Vimeo from school.
Plenty of people.
Yeah, because I actually did a video for my college, and it was talking about my disability of ADHD and dyslexia. and it's actually on the homepage for disability services, and I was like, oh shit, that's actually like really cool.
Cool.
So,
Yeah. Like I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying.
It's guaranteed to do well on Vimeo. I'm saying that you want to actually like release stuff and have people look at it. You have to put an effort aside from uploading it to YouTube.
Relax. First of all, I'm not trying to make a debate here. I'm not. I'm just saying something.
No. You are making a debate.
I'm not. Relax. You like to cause an argument all the time. Listen, I'm just saying there's a lot of upcoming sites as well, and the problem with them is like, for example, like what?
I'm not offended by it.
I know, you're just like yelling and all that. It's carrying on. There's like, other people that's like, trying to make their next video platform and websites, like that one guy, McJuggernog, is trying to do the Storyfire website.
Oh yeah, no, you're
and
not
then
gonna replace YouTube.
And yeah, exactly. There's a lot of, it sounds great and it sounds like, I don't know, like, I remember his video saying stuff like, with everything that YouTube's going on, if we just band together, do all this, and it's like, it's very hopeful sounding, and it's not reality. And what happened to that one website that got shut down, VidMe, No one's going to go anywhere else, and even if they do, they're not going to stick around for long, and if like, oh, you get this many views, it's not going to help out in the long run. It's about the long run, that's all it's about.
I agree with you. That's not the point that's not really the point I was trying to make, though. I'm not saying as a replacement. I'm saying if you're a creative type of person, you should be okay with going to smaller websites like that, because even though you won't get as much, you don't have the same potential for views as you can get on YouTube. I do think it is more likely someone will see it, because I think that people scrolling through Vimeo want something different than your average person who spends their time on YouTube, because most of them are very young, and even the ones that aren't young. I mean, like, even stuff like I really love iDubbbz, but I mean, he's not the most creative or original person. His show that's really popular is a show that criticizes YouTubers. It's very well done. It's very funny. But I mean, there's nothing like fantastic about it. It's just a pretty entertaining show that he puts a lot of effort into.
A lot of people go to YouTube for personalities. Well, same with Twitch, but I think more so Twitch. But like, I mean, what makes his show is him. But like, what's it?
Another good example of like, again, there is potential for like people who do cinematic stuff and filmmaking to do well. Like if you look at a channel, I think it's called RackaRacka or something, does these really fucked up Ronald McDonald videos. If you watch those,
my god, I've seen so many of those. They are
extremely well made.
The only one that I truly remember is when the birthday party and the kid gets punched in the face.
I don't know. I don't remember that one specifically. The one I remember best is them going for the hospital, and oh god, it's so fucked up. That's a recommendation of the week. RackaRacka. I think I'm saying.
I can't even write it down right now. I'm using my phone with my flashlight.
I'll just send you a video after the show.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just yelled right into my microphone. I feel so bad.
So what's up with you guys? Anyone watch any good movies or TV shows over the last week or two?
Black Panther.
I just saw Black Panther today. It is like one of the best Marvel movies they have made so far, and I highly recommend it. It's really good.
So like,
it's deep. It's so deep. It's so good. Good morals at the end. Good everything.
I mean, since I work at the theaters, literally 5 weeks, and it's been sold out. So now it's like died down. So
I hear that they do a fake out with Black Panther dying, even though he's in the Avengers trailer.
I wouldn't call it a fake out. If you want, I don't know if that's the right label, but all right. I mean, I think watching the movie, he's the main character. You see him dying. I'm not gonna say how he looks like he's dying, but like he's not gonna. I don't think that's like, oh my god, you don't get mad about that. That's like clearly, of course he was gonna come back.
That clearly wasn't anger.
I'm just saying, like anyone that may think it's just weird, a weird argument or a weird thing to put out.
I do think it's weird. It's weird, but I didn't see the movie, so I can't say anything about it. I've heard some people love it, and I've heard some people find it mediocre.
RackaRacka.
What was the recommendation?
RackaRacka, and I don't know if that's the right name because it's a weird name.
I'd recommend
that. I could very well be saying like something really stupid right now, and not
from like one word or 2 words.
I think it's like all together one.
Just a channel or like?
I think it's just a video like.
Well, which video?
I don't know.
Channel or the video?
I can look it up.
Okay.
Well, the channel because
Okay.
yeah.
Chris, you want to talk about anything?
I broke through 100 subs, and that was awesome.
How long's that
My
gonna
first
last?
100.
It's RackaRacka.
Oh.
I'll leave it in the chat. Okay, so I don't know where I was getting Flocka from.
Maybe from Waka Flocka Flame.
I don't know.
How do you spell it?
I put it in the chat.
Well, I'm
It's
not
like
gonna see that until later.
rack.
Okay.
But other than that, like I'm doing like intro to photography at campus, and like to
Cool.
see the picture come in like in black and white is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been considered to be like one of the best in the class apparently because everyone comes to me for help. So
Nice.
Well, don't get an ego about it.
no, I'm not. It's just like okay, like
It's okay to have a little bit of an ego if you're doing something good.
Don't say that. That's a horrible thing to preach out there.
Little,
Not even a little bit.
like,
No.
If you like go around and act like you're
Well, yeah.
better than everyone else, then obviously that's annoying. But if
Yeah.
you like,
I think the idea of
that
like
you're good at something,
yeah,
that's not bad. You want to have some.
I think that little
confidence in your
bit can
life.
spread though, like anything. But that's just me. I think
Yeah.
Just
even a
don't-
little bit can cause something
Well,
bad.
I hope that Chris doesn't go mad with power from being good in his photography class.
That's an over exaggeration, but
I
alright.
think I've already gone mad with power in a show that we're doing, bro. So I think we're at that point already.
Oh.
Chris goes mad with power
Oh my god.
because of an intro to photography class. I took that last semester. It was an enjoyable class. I don't think I did above or and beyond in it. I think I just did the competent job, and that's it.
Yeah. After that I do digital, which is I'm not all thrilled about Photoshop. It's just I just want to make a picture look better than it is.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to learn how to use Photoshop. Honestly, I think you'll like it.
But my professor is the same one for my intro, and she does better teaching intro than digital. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I think it's cool to be able to take a good picture without really needing to do anything too much with post.
Right.
There's a really unique angle. You had the camera settings proper when you decided to take the picture at the right shutter speed.
Sometimes, like if I've known some photographers like that do stuff at cons and like with cosplayers, like for example, if a certain character like has like fire powers or something, you make the scene feel hot, really sweaty.
Yeah.
Put some fire in the background, like maybe ashes or something, little things like that.
Right.
But other than that, like just create a new environment. I mean.
Right.
But if it's like a simple
recently
thing.
went to a con down in downtown Palm Beach, and it was called the Comic-Con Revolution, and I met the Treasure Coast cosplayers. There was a guy doing Joker, Kim Possible, Jessica Rabbit, and Wonder Woman. And then there was also like a really cool like walking Gundam cosplayer, like super detailed, and I was like, that is cool.
Yeah. Going back. So you guys saw Black Panther.
Yeah.
And you guys have anything you want to say about? I don't.
No spoilers.
You can say whatever you want.
No, I said whatever.
We did already say a spoiler, so you should put up a little.
What'd I say?
Warning.
I said it.
I said it. I said it, and I didn't even see the movie.
Anyone that has seen any movie, there's going to be some sort of like, oh, but it's like, no, it's not. No, don't worry.
I thought it was really cool,
that bad.
like the fact that the fact of like what happens with like the
don't say
other
anything.
Friends.
Some people are really loving it. Some people are saying it's mediocre. I haven't heard anyone say they flat out hate it.
It's definitely in my like top 3 fit. It's like first of all, comedy wise, it's not like any of the other recent Marvel movies where it's just shoving jokes down your throat all the time. It has a few jokes in it, but not throughout the entire thing.
Unforgivable though, and I'm sorry.
What?
Finish your statement first. I shouldn't interrupt
No, I'm
you.
done. Unforgivable. What's unforgivable? They're black.
A fucking what are those joke in the movie.
It was legit.
Oh my
to be fair,
God.
It was unexpected and legitimately funny. I don't know. I laughed. I chuckled.
God. I laughed a lot. That was awesome. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The man who killed your father did a what are those joke, and that's why you're offended, huh?
That liked the movies, guys. Keep that in mind.
What now, Mike?
It's that joke was like my favorite scene in the entire movie. I'm not gonna lie.
That's like the reason everyone's given it like 10 out of 10.
No, it is not.
I feel like if that's one of the reasons that people like put it from 10 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, I would hate that. That would be stupid.
That would be.
It's just a little joke. Like honestly, the movie's not even chock full of them. It's good as its own thing.
I think
I
think the whole arm thing was pretty cool, like the hand cannon.
I haven't seen it. I might check it out.
It's in the trailer.
There's two things that might get me to see it. I'm not a big Marvel fan.
Oh, by the way, the villain's really good. By the way, villain's great.
Cool. I hear all the actors are really good. Even the people calling it mediocre.
Yo, I walked out of that theater knowing like each single character, each part of the main cast was important, and I remembered them. Like that's not something that a lot of the Marvel movies do. I think.
With the Marvel films, I saw both Homecoming and Guardians Volume 2 last year, and it was both of the times I was invited to go. That is one of two ways I'll see Black Panthers. If someone hits me up and says, "Hey, let's go see Black Panther," because I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I think they can be cool movies sometimes, and or Darrell actually has interest in doing something. He wants to kind of like make a pitch trailer, and he's naming off movies that he kind of is inspired. It's a really vague topic, but he wants to put a bunch of energy into like a 2-minute trailer and see if that can gain an interest. And Black Panther is one of the movies he wants me to look at if we do that. So I am going to watch Black Panther. If we end up going through with this, I can't say a lot about it because he himself is being vague about it right now. But basically, it's a test trailer he wants to do after we finish up the group. Which, by the way, did you see episode 3, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we don't have to talk about that right now, but we'll talk about that like after the call because I do actually want some feedback.
I'll just say it wasn't like as great as you thought it was. It's not a bad episode. It's just it's just another episode. I just I don't know.
Did I praise it? Was I praising it?
No, you're like I think you said like this is your favorite episode that you've done so far. I was really expecting something cool. It was my favorite of the 3, but
yeah. It is my favorite of the 3. I think it has.
That's not a thing to say to anyone watching to not watch the group. They should.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway, so Mike, you could also, if you like, have your thoughts about Black Panther, you could do that for one of your like movie discussion videos.
Well, it'll definitely be in my 2018 watch list video. I'm still working my 2017 watch list video where I talk about every single movie I watched in that year, and I'm already keeping track of everything I saw in 2018. I've only seen like 6 movies so far this year. I saw The Last Jedi very early into the year.
Still haven't seen that yet.
I saw 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I've heard that was really good, up for a lot of Oscar awards.
I really loved it. It is. I saw Shape of Water, which is the most.
I love that one. I love that one.
It was really good. It was really good.
Also,
What, Chris?
What? Oh, I mean, I know musicals are already like done and everything, but I think The Greatest Showman, the one about P.T. Barnum,
that was the
really good one.
I was actually going to mention that because that's the last movie I just saw.
Oh, is it good? I wasn't so sure about seeing that one.
Me and Chris are going to have different opinions here, so that'll be interesting.
It doesn't look good to me.
I thought it was cool, just like the story.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it in just a second. I'll get to that one. What were I just want to name everything now that I started. I'm not going to talk about every single one of them. I saw after The Shape of Water.
I mean, do you have to list them all? I mean, we could go into this discussion. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna talk about one of them aside from The Greatest Showman, and I'm just trying to remember what it was now.
Is it on your? Is it in the video you posted, which I haven't seen by the way yet? No. FYI.
Birdemic was the 4th movie. Jesus.
Birdemic.
I actually sat down and finally watched like the movie. JonTron reviewed it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch Birdemic on my own. And it was. I don't regret it. It was enjoyable.
I have no idea what that is.
Is it anything like the Birds movie, like when the birds attack? Because I've not heard of this one.
Birdemic is just a really poorly made movie. But it's like made from a director who clearly cared but didn't know what he was doing. And as a result,
what was that?
It's hilarious.
I heard that. He like freaked out, Zach.
What was that?
It was just my phone got like a notification thing and just buzzed on the table. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I wonder if that picked it up.
Funny.
Okay, that was the movie I was thinking about. I don't know how I forgot about it. I saw Enter the Void, which was an incredible movie. One of the craziest movies I've ever seen in my life. It's the trippiest movie I've ever seen in my life for sure, and probably the second most depressing movie I've ever seen in my life.
Second most? What's the most?
I talked about before. It's a movie called Dear Zachary, which I fucking bawled my eyes out during. This one just has like scenes that were really upsetting me. Realistically, it probably isn't the second saddest, but it's just on my mind right now. This one was, I would just give like a small synopsis because it's really cool. It's about a drug dealer who gets shot. Like most of the film is done in first person. He's shot and dies, and this happens at the very beginning.
Fuck.
And then he floats around the city. Like, oh, what happened?
You cut out for like a few seconds.
Did I cut out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
First person, he got shot, and
first
then
person, he gets shot.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler because that's the whole concept. And then the rest of the movie is pretty much just him floating around the city from, again, first person perspective, and watching how the people in his life were affected by it.
Mine like glitched, but
okay.
Right.
Did that movie come out a few years ago? The trailer was all in first person, right? I think I know what you're talking about. Like the action.
Hardcore Hank or something. That was another first.
Hardcore Henry, but that's a different movie. I haven't seen that one yet. It looks
right. It looks interesting.
No, that was 2009. Enter the Void.
Right, but the movie you're just describing, it kind of sounds a little bit like Babylon AD, where Vin Diesel gets shot in the beginning of the movie, and then it shows like the image and everything. But that's just what I was thinking. Like this sounds like Babylon AD.
It's a really great movie. It doesn't have like a horrible score on Rotten Tomatoes, but to me, this one is just a great example of why Rotten Tomatoes is a horrible source. Because it doesn't have a very good score, and I thought it was fantastic. The story does have weird pacing, and I'm not going to act like it didn't bother me at all, but it's like this, you watch this movie, and you can't compare it to anything else at all. And then I did see The Greatest Showman, which you saw too. So first you tell me what you think, and like, I will start by saying I didn't hate it or anything, but say what you're going to say.
I mean, I liked it because it showed like P.T. Barnum's story, like, He came from like a very like rough like childhood. What? I understand.
Already.
I know. But it just showed like his childhood. It like showed like he liked this girl as a kid, and then they had all this stuff happen. They lived in a shack of an apartment place, had two beautiful girls, and then he decided to like do his own like business thing, which it didn't start very well. And then it got better when he got people to be part of it. But then he lied about like everyone's like things like the giant that was like
he exaggerated it. He
exaggerated everything.
The fat, for example, the fat really like obese guy was 500 pounds, but he exaggerated it to be 750, stuff like that. Yeah.
Is this like the whole movie, or is this just the beginning and doesn't matter?
No, this is like the beginning.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, no,
I was gonna be. Are you gonna tell me the entire script of the film? And then he said, and then she said.
No.
The entire aspect of the film is like mainly just him, but it focuses on a very small part of his life. They address his childhood in like the first 3 minutes of the movie.
This is the showman's character as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a musical, by the way. If you didn't pick up on that, I actually wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was a musical or not. I figured it was, but I didn't know. My cousin was sending messages saying he really loved it and saying I should check it out. So I was like, okay, I'll do this. I mean, like, it didn't look great to me. And here's what I'll say about it. And no offense to you at all, Chris. It's awesome that you like it. And I don't dislike it.
I do have my dislikes, but continue.
I think that it has one of the worst scripts I've ever seen in a movie. It is, and there's a positive though. Keep in mind, I liked the movie.
Yeah.
Has a horrible script.
With that.
The characters are not interested in people. They're like, everything is written very poorly. It is like every single cliche you've seen in another movie combined.
Aren't most musicals like that? Poor script, bland characters.
I disagree with some of the ones I've seen, but I haven't seen a lot of musicals. I saw La La Land, and it does have a lot of cliches in it because it's about someone trying to make it big and make it
I
big
did
in
not like
Hollywood.
that. I didn't like that.
But
You
there's
didn't like La La Land?
there's really unique stuff in it. They're like
Why not?
the ending of La La Land is like super original. Like the last 10 minutes are, and it's something like part of the movie I like. I also think the characters are very interesting, and they do focus on some new things as well. But The Greatest Showman has none of that. Like I don't think it's like the script offers nothing. But here's why it's still entertaining. Every single person, aside from the people who wrote it, like the cinematography, the actors, the people who wrote the songs, the people playing the music, the people doing the special effects, none of them phoned it in. Like everyone treated this movie like it was the most important thing in their life.
That's good.
Right. They also brought like from old to new.
Energetic throughout the whole thing, and Doug Walker said this in a video, and I agree with him 100%. Every single song in the movie is like the opening or closing song of a big musical. Like every single one of them is the inspirational song. Like every single one of them is just full of energy, and it never stops. And most of the movie is taken up by the songs. Right. And it's whenever you cut away from the songs and go back to the story, it's like you know exactly what's going to happen. They're not completely on. You shouldn't expect them to be, but they're not completely honest about the actual history of what happened, of what really happened. It's not, but I mean, really, it doesn't really seem like they were interested in that part. It seemed like an excuse. This whole movie seemed like an excuse to put on, like, make a bunch of cool music videos to put into a movie, but every single one of the songs in the movie was very enjoyable. It was a very fun movie to watch. I watched it at like 7 p.m. at my movie theater alone. There was not a single person in the theater but me watching it.
So Chris,
and it was entertaining, and everyone did a really good job. But the writing was like there was nothing. Like the script is nothing. There was nothing to it. Yeah.
So
what are you pointing at?
Chris, I'm waiting for him to speak.
Yeah. So all right. So my dislikes, like Zac Efron's role in the movie is just like he's like very like not super interested in the movie, but he did try as hard as he did. He did pull all the stops and everything. I also really enjoyed. Yeah, it's just like towards the beginning, the beginning of his like introduction. It's just like he doesn't really care. But I think the most well improved like actress was probably the bearded lady. Like she pulled out that solo, and it was phenomenal.
She had a fantastic voice. Terrible fake beard.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like it looked. I was amazed how bad that looked. But like for the most part,
was all the other makeup and prosthetics like good, or was that the only bad one?
I think to me that was the only one I noticed being bad. Everything else looked pretty good. The sets on this movie were pretty interesting, actually. And I don't think the cinematography is anything especially unique. I've seen shots like it in other films before, but I mean, every single shot in the movie is good. Like they do good work, and it works for what they were trying to do. The only scene where I think something looked technically like really bad for me is they have like this song between Zac Efron and I think the girl's name is Zendaya.
Yeah.
Zendaya.
She came from like Disney Channel. I know that.
Yeah.
There's a part of that like there's this like song where they're like dancing around on like a rope and like swinging around
that also,
the room. And whenever they actually film someone doing the stunt, it looks really cool. But obviously they had stunt doubles for that scene, and that's not the problem. But then whenever actually had to cut to them being on the rope, I thought the green screen looked really bad in that
scene. I could agree with that.
I think like whenever I actually had to show their faces as they spinned around, like it was super noticeable that they weren't in that room anymore. But that's the only technical thing I didn't like. And then the bearded lady, I think the beard looked bad, but she was wonderful. And I actually wish the Freak Show was more of the focus of the film, because I think that the Freak Show characters seemed like interesting characters, but the only time that they really speak is in the songs. They don't really get a lot of dialogue outside of the songs. They don't have a big part in the story that you think they would.
I think the only people that actually really do speak is Napoleon, the bearded lady, not so much the giant or the tattooed man, but like the people who
like lines during the auditions, but that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. And the I don't remember who else, but like only a few of the people from the Freak Show actually had real lines. So that was a little bit like.
And it wasn't a lot. They were never the focus, and they were probably the most interesting part of the movie. All of them did a great job, though. Like, and it was a very unique looking cast of characters.
Oh, now you're back. Hello, everyone.
Oh, that
what happened?
Jesus Christ.
Doesn't matter. The point is, from a technical aspect, they did a great job. From a performance aspect, they did a great job. From a writing aspect, no, it was terrible. All right, so want to move on, Zach?
I was just gonna say one thing, even though I haven't seen the movie yet. Like, for me, the biggest turnoff, which is very like small, but like at the same time, it makes me a bit uncomfortable. The age gap between Zac Efron and Zendaya and their romantic thing in the movie. I hear. Yeah. So it makes me feel uncomfortable.
How old is she? Didn't she?
She's like 21, 22, and Zac Efron's like in his 30s, right? So
yeah, Zac Efron got off of Disney Channel like a decade ago.
It's not a believable thing. She's just she's the hot young actress of this generation at the time, and Zac Efron. So put them together in a movie, make them romantically involved. That's the idea.
They're a horrible couple.
It's just weird casting. Yeah.
They have no scenes of developing a relationship. There's a scene where they hold hands, and then one of his rich, snobby, like either family members or friends sees him holding her hand and like, what's this about? And then he doesn't hold her hand anymore, and then she gets offended by that, and then later they have a song together, and then at the end of the movie they're together. Like, what if they rewrote the script?
What if they rewrote the script enough that they made them not either brother and sister, or like an friends but acts like brother and sister in a way, that kind of friendship thing? What if they rewrote it like that?
I don't know. I mean, I
have
think
to change a song or two. But
there's nothing good with the writing to compare it to.
Okay.
So I can't really say for sure.
But would it have helped? Make it less uncomfortable.
Maybe. I mean, maybe even like not.
I'm not uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
They're both adults, so I wasn't that uncomfortable about it. But
I mean, in my opinion, maybe someone else other than Zac Efron, but I don't know who else would be. So
you know what? The song that he had was with Zendaya. It's not horrible. Both of them can clearly sing, but like it felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like High School Musical. Like it really did.
Yes.
And Zac Efron being there obviously was a huge part of that, but just like the lyrics and like. It just being in this one stage the whole time, like it felt like a High School Musical song. That's what it felt like.
We're all in this together. Like that, literally, that's what it is. It's we're all in this together song. That's what it was. Except
if you would have shown me that clip without context, I would have assumed they're making High School Musical.
Oh yeah,
I really would have.
High School Musical 4 or something. Yeah. Sneak peek.
Oh my god.
What if Hugh Jackman just busts down Chris's door and just like yells at us for like, how dare you say anything bad about our great movie, The Great Showman? Now on Blu-ray.
Wait, repeat what you just said.
Wait, Chris, can you show me your movie ticket again?
I can't hear a word you're saying. Can you repeat that?
He wants us to see your movie ticket.
Can you show me your movie ticket again?
It's upside down, you idiot. There you go.
That's a lot nicer than what we get. Let me find mine.
Regal Cinema's ticket. Here we go.
This is what mine it looks like.
I know. I've been up to Pennsylvania because I had an ex that lives there now. But other than that, I do know that those tickets. Actually, I still have. I collect every single one of my tickets.
Same. Almost every single one, but same. I have like a bunch pinned up in the billboard there. Oh, I should do that. Wrap them. That's a smart idea. Yeah.
I have a folder.
I used to go to Regal, but like there's this one movie theater 15 minutes away from me. It's a newer one, but it's like the people there are faster getting your food delivered to you. Before you can't order food to your seats at Regal. You can at this newer one. It's like you don't have to wait and not go into your movie theater, and it's like it's just dumb. And then the theater's nicer in the newer one. Our Regal's just like it's been there for years and it's just going downhill.
Different ones that I had down south of Florida. So like they look like this.
Like first class.
Epic
That's the old one.
It's not like it's not like this was ever like their old tickets were that great, but I mean like at least this is like a nice kind of thick. But now this is just receipt.
I have the Black Panther ones from today. Let me get them.
I hate that. Let me see. I got it.
Oh, here's one.
Spider-Man.
The paper.
With this
Baby
other
Driver.
theater, Silver Spot Cinema.
Skull Island.
They've got
Why do I
these
have
tickets.
2 tickets for Spider-Man?
This is what the
I have
Silver
2
Spot
Spider-Man
Cinema tickets look like.
Oh, at the Cinepolis, they actually have like a nice little
Look
piece
at
of
that
paper,
little
like,
shine
with
right there. You get a silver spot, and it's like a sun. It's like
Yeah.
nice looking.
If I had like a Cinepolis
round.
theater ticket, I could show you what that looks like. That's a trip on its own. It has like cinema this, and it actually has the seat number because apparently at the Cinepolis you have to reserve your seats now. So
These are cool. These are cooler tickets.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are like Broadway tickets looking things.
Yeah, these are Art Quest. One of them is for Christopher Titus, who's a stand-up comedian.
It sounds like a disease. Christopher Titus.
I like him. I actually really like him a lot. And it was kind of like surreal seeing him like so up close. Because we went to see the Rolling Stones, and I actually have that ticket framed. We went to see the Rolling Stones a few years ago, and that was really surreal because I've listened to their music my whole life, and I was actually seeing them. Chris Titus was like, it wasn't it was someone I knew about not nearly as long, but I was like pretty close to him, and he was making fun of the area I live in, and that was just incredible. A stand-up comedian that very close to you, making fun of where you live.
Yeah, I was actually I was at an improv myself, and George Lopez was performing that night, and he walked right next to me, and I'm like, oh shit, that's him.
Like 2 feet away or something?
2 feet, like literally like shoulder to shoulder.
You didn't like stop him like, hey, can I have a picture or nothing?
Like, hey,
that's cool.
No, he was getting on, and so this lady who was like super drunk was like, what? Oh, I've seen those before.
No, Chris, tell your story.
Look at my tickets, everybody.
Look at my tickets.
Let me interrupt the story real quick.
But no, like he was this lady who was obviously like super drunk was like bickering with him, and that's the first I've ever seen like actual bickering between a comedian and someone who's drunk. And then at the end of the show, he's like, okay, everyone drive safe. I'm gonna go beat up the lady in the parking lot, and then he just goes in the back room. It was so funny. I've actually seen like back and forth on from the comedian stage.
I got this is from a film festival, and then I have Lake Street Dive.
I was just like thinking, like, I hate to like bring it down a bit, but like the Howie Mandel thing that's going on tonight, like with everything that's happened near me, like he's probably going to be talking about that. Did
you actually wait? Was that? I thought that was a joke.
No, wait, what? We talking? Oh, the Howie Mandel thing. No, I was supposed to go tonight, but I forgot. Like I made plans with you, and then I remembered. Like, oh, so.
Well, you could have canceled this to go to that. I wouldn't have been offended by that.
No, I wanted to do this. Haven't talked to Chris in a while. And it's just Howie Mandel. I mean, come on. Deal or no deal? Yeah, right.
Is this a live event or a TV show?
It's live. It's at the I said it's at the auditorium near me. It's just performing stand-up.
Well, you should have gone. You should have gone to that. Like I would have canceled.
I could care less for Howie Mandel, dude.
I mean, I would be offended for anyone who did not go see Howie Mandel.
Why are you a big fan of Howie Mandel, Chris?
That's nothing against Howie Mandel. That is someone who doesn't know a lot.
No, it's everything against Howie Mandel. He's the worst human being alive. He owes me $20. His dog ran over my cat with the dog's car. The dog drives, by the way.
Oh my God. Actually, speaking of which, how are your dogs, by the way, Zach?
What?
Your dogs. I haven't seen them in a long time.
They're fine, Chris. Is this a topic now on DuckCast? How are my dogs? They're very good. They're cute still. They're puppies. They're good. How are your dogs, Chris?
Well, I have one dog now. Max passed away, but
I'm sorry.
He went peacefully.
Yeah.
Like,
you wanna ask me how my dogs are, Chris?
How are your dogs, Mike? Yeah, I'm gonna ask then. If you're not gonna ask, how are your dogs, Mike?
Anyway.
DuckCast.
Sorry. I don't know. That's super funny.
Do your neighbors ever knock on your door and say, "Hey, you're great neighbors and all, but can you tell Chris to shut the fuck up? His laughter is so goddamn loud."
Name this episode Chris laughing at Michael's dead dog.
See, like that. He chuckles sometimes, but then he just bursts. He lifts his head up. You know that whole thing? What's it from? Like, now we'll tilt our heads up and laugh. Like I think Richie did that back in the day.
That was from George of the Jungle.
Is that what it's from?
Ready?
That meme. That's what you do. That's every time you laugh. You tilt your head up and you're like you bolt to the ceiling.
Because I'm a giggling fool. That's why.
I got blood work done.
Ooh.
2 days ago, I think, maybe 3 now. I don't know. And
you're now 10 pounds lighter.
Yes.
Well, they ordered it for me to get it on December 11th, and I got it on February 26th.
Bit of a delay, just a bit.
Well, at first it was because of insurance problems, and we got those fixed halfway through January. So realistically, I should have gone near the end of January. Could have had this whole thing cleared up now, because now it was a routine inspection. They wanted me to go because my blood pressure was high, and I've actually been checking my blood pressure daily now, and it's actually very close to normal now, like very close.
Mine too.
Good job.
I've lost 7 pounds since the last DuckCast.
Congrats.
And there was one night, though, 2 nights ago, where it was really bad. It wasn't on the call your doctor bad level, but it was like, I think it was like at 156 over 90 something.
Does it have anything to do with stress at all?
Maybe.
I definitely have been under stress. Today it was at I think it was like at 130. Oh, actually, I can check. I've been, like I said, I've been keeping track of it.
Oh, look at that chest, baby.
I got a little notebook. It was 130 over 86.
Damn.
So that's like almost 120 over 80 is where you want it to be.
Yeah. Well, actually, more like 120 over 66 or something like that. Because, I don't know what mine was like 120. Like it was like I forget what it was.
120 over 66.
I did it.
That might be a low blood pressure. I don't know.
That's what I saw last time I went. I don't know, something like that. But
if it is a medium, it might be normal. That might be normal. I don't know. I have to look at that chart again. My doctor, I think at one point, like when I went to see my doctor last time, it was really bad. So they wanted me to get a routine inspection. So I got blood work done. They're basically checking my cholesterol and checking make sure nothing's happened to like my heart, lungs, and stuff like that. Because having a blood pressure that high can start to lead to problems, and they've just been giving me ways to work on lowering it. And I know this is such a random thing to bring up. I wanted to, just because it's like kind of the continuing saga of, is Michael going to die in season 3? Because I was rewatching.
That's a horrible thing. It reflects too much on real life. Don't do that. That'll scare people. No. I
was rewatching one of the episodes because I was looking for a clip in my television 2017 review that I just released yesterday. I talk about Stranger Things, and I talk about apparently they rip off something from X-Men, and I start to mention you in your rant. So I link it. I put the podcast
X-Men
link
First Class
in my description, and I give a time code so they can watch you go on about it. And then I realized while listening to the episode that, this is the one where I watched Synecdoche, New York, and was starting to freak out over my health issues. So it's a saga now.
It's so bad though. It's not even like.
I think I'm okay, but I mean, like for me, like making jokes.
But I feel like it's gonna just get worse and worse over time. I feel like if you make you'll just jinx it.
It's better now than it was. Yeah. It's better now than it was before. But I mean, like I don't know. Like
the calm before the storm.
I'm nervous. I am nervous about it because and they said I would probably be fine, but I'm getting this blood work done to make sure everything's like fine. They did not seem worried, is what I'll say. But obviously I'm a little bit nervous about it because I don't know what the phone call is going to be when I get it. It's probably I have every reason to believe it's going to be fine. They've checked everything else with me, and my blood pressure was the only thing that concerned them. But
just don't say at the end of the saga you'll die. Don't scare me like that.
Yeah, please. We need you alive.
It's too real, man.
For like 5 more after this.
5 more.
I mean, 5 more. 5 more seasons. 5 more
At
seasons.
least.
God.
What episode would we be on? There's 20 episodes per season. If we did 5 more,
60.
then that would be 8 seasons in all. 8 times 20. Or 8 times, yeah. Or 8 times, Someone gonna help me out here? I'm like drawing a blank here. I'm like
160 if you're trying to calculate how many episodes it would be. I don't know if that is that what you're trying to do? It would be 160
20 times 8.
Yeah.
20 times
I'm being an
8 is
idiot.
like 160.
Yeah, I didn't even have to think about that, Zach. Come on, I'm bad at
I'm
math.
very slow today. I'm sorry. Hard to believe it's like 9:30 p.m. or something later in the day.
100. It's 160, bro.
I don't know. I just wanted to like talk about it though because it actually does help me to talk about it. Like I felt genuinely better in the episode where I was talking about like my concerns last time after I recorded it. I think that's the same one where I talked about how my dog was having health issues but was okay. And then we all know how that turned out, so maybe you're right. I should stop.
Stop doing that.
Why are you smiling?
Stop.
I'm not. I'm smiling about something that makes me upset. I'm sorry. That's just a way
It was such a weird reaction to that. We all know how that turned out. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why you say it like that?
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh wow.
Oh boy.
So let's move on to something chipperier.
I mean,
Jesus.
like
Kingdom Hearts 3 is next year.
What?
I don't care.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out.
Oh, they finally got a release date stuff for that? I heard that was delayed like a lot.
They have 2.
I know Kingdom Hearts fans have been waiting for that.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm not a Kingdom Hearts fan, but I want to hear what a fan has to think about it. Might as well. We don't talk about Kingdom Hearts on here. Why not?
Anyways, but yeah, so I'm extremely excited because they're actually adding in like Monsters Incorporated world.
I saw that stuff. That was cool. And Toy
Story. They have
Story.
like a couple of Toy Story. I wasn't so thrilled about Toy Story, but it looks cool. It looks cool. No, don't get me wrong.
Have they done Toy Story yet for Kingdom Hearts?
No, they have not.
That's surprising.
But what I'm really happy is that they're keeping like the format for like.
Do they have?
What?
Say it. Finish. I'm sorry.
Right. So they're keeping the format from when they did Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2, whereas it looks like super like well detailed 3D like, and instead of like the other stuff that you get, like it's like kind of like 2D, so you can like see like every little detail, and I'm extremely happy that they're doing that. I was hoping maybe even like San Francisco from like Big Hero 6 would be a thing, but
did they confirm Big Hero 6 or they're not going forward with that?
They would have add more stuff, but
Kingdom Hearts and Big Hero 6, that would be awesome.
Like
badass.
that would be amazing. You would think, because like Baymax is like a.
You've got a lot of characters with their own abilities and everything. That would be great for a video game. Great idea.
That is Marvel, technically.
In a city space, just it's like New York or something.
Do you think they'll have That's So Raven?
No.
Of course. It'll take place during the That's So Raven, Sweet Life on Deck, and Hannah Montana crossover, so then you get all three.
Wait. Brainstorm. What if, instead of having the game, it just turns out to be an episode where
it's just an episode.
Looks like Sora, dressed like Sora, and then Donald and Goofy in like their freaking Disney costumes.
I was gonna say you just put in the disc for the game, just plays it in an episode. That's So Raven.
Wait, isn't That So Raven coming back?
Kyle Massey is just there in the intro.
Or Corey in the house.
Isn't there like a reunion show coming for that? Like, isn't That So Raven?
I think Raven Simone's on a Disney show now as her character. Like she raises 2 kids now or something.
This is the 3rd That's So Raven series we have.
Yeah.
This is like the
because Girl Meets World did so well.
Oh my god!
I wonder if like Boy House gave it enough credibility so it could have another show.
There will be a 3rd Sweet Life series where Cole's raising 2 kids because he's the good one, and then Dylan will be on the recliner chair picking his belly button and just eating it, because he's the dirty one.
One of them was just in a Netflix thing. I thought they quit acting, but one of them just appeared in some Netflix show. I didn't watch it.
Cole is on Riverdale. Right? Is that Riverdale?
I think Riverdale is a place in Lord
and Dylan Sprouse has a what's it called? A meat in a bakery. What's it when you cut up the meat in a place? What's it called? When you chop up, he has like a real big boy job now.
Oh, like Butchery?
Butcher, that's it. Butcher.
That's what I said.
I didn't hear you.
Well, I said it first, Mike.
I said it first, actually.
I'm going with Chris because Chris.
Yes! I win!
I'm not getting drunk for a long
Didn't
time.
accept
so
it, you just kicked me
isn't
back,
gonna
alright.
happen for a long time.
What's
no more
up?
drunk cast. Not gonna be a drunk cast for a while.
Actually, speaking of which, this thing is my drinking glass, and I'm super excited.
It's pretty small.
I'm not like
Packs a wild punch.
I don't think I'm giving it up forever or anything, but I am gonna give it up until I'm like back in shape, which I know I've been saying for years. But I've actually lost weight again this time, so hopefully I can do it.
Just keep it up, man. We can do it.
I did Fat Mackle like 2 years ago, and I lost like almost 40 pounds during that, but I managed to gain all of it back within the last couple of years. So
The fact that you did it once, you can do it again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still wasn't like 40 pounds isn't enough for me. Like I need to lose a lot more than that, because yeah, like I was still fat. There's like DuckCast episodes you can watch though, where like this extra chin right here was
fast forward it like one of those flip books, just like.
Oh no, or like the one picture
he's the
of
real
David.
villain of DuckCast.
What?
It's like he's the real villain. Like forget
obesity.
Barry Boner, he's the double chin is the real villain of DuckCast because it was there for season 1, for most like beginning of season 1, but near the end of season 1 it went away. But now it's the return of the double chin.
The return of the double chin.
Whole other arc now that we didn't even see coming. It was here this whole time. Now the characters are starting to find out about it. The great evil. Oh no.
We didn't have an arc season 1 of Barry Boner, so now we're just trying to like claim there's been arcs the whole time. You just didn't pick
The
up
arc
on
of the
them.
arc.
There's
Arc of
like
the
at least 8
arcs.
arcs.
At least. What the heck was that?
My chair.
Oh, that was like Chris.
No,
They had a ghost in this house.
You really badly.
What if Chris's house was haunted?
Oh, there is. There's no doubt ghosts.
Stories, go. What happened to your family? Did someone?
Well, actually, someone took up
experience
my
something?
feet in the middle of the night.
Oh no.
It was a little awkward. Then I found out it was my dog, so case solved.
Were you naked one night?
Actually, no.
Oh, someday, you'll wake up. You'll be so happy. Oh, thank God. It'll be. It's like the scene from Ghostbusters where the ghost sucked the dude off.
I once recorded a
But with
video in my
Chris.
room, and I saw like this little particle go across the screen. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that is so true.
99% sure it's a ghost and not a piece of dust.
90.
So-
I was looking on my
99.999.
I was looking on my DSLR screen and I saw a little blue thing. People are telling me it's a dead pixel, but I don't believe it. I think it's a ghost.
Clip from a very mediocre show where someone's trying to solve a mystery, and I don't remember what leads into this, what they say, but little do you all know, they're wearing a bulletproof face and pulls out a gun, shoots him in the face, and then of course. And then of course their entire head splatters, and the person's like, "Damn, I was like 40% sure that was a bulletproof face."
Damn.
So only 40% decided to go for a shoot-in.
Bulletproof face.
That sounds like something like I recently started getting into the Office, like on Netflix now. It is pretty funny. Like at the beginning, it was like so like cringeworthy, and then now it's like super funny.
Well, I mean, it was.
Haven't you talked about The Office a
always been
lot?
cringeworthy.
Haven't you talked about The
I've
Office a
talked
lot
about
here? Yeah.
Yeah. The Office has always been a cringeworthy show, but I mean, it's like cringe humor because it's just like how horrible the characters are, like the things they do, and how awful it is to watch sometimes. That's mainly where the humor from The Office always came.
Question: which bear is best?
Well, is it multiple choice? Are we gonna hear
False,
any of the
grizzly bear.
answers? What?
False, grizzly bear.
I thought you were gonna name like cartoon bears.
No, that's literally the episode where Jim is impersonating Dwight, who is a psychopath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Dwight is a psychopath.
I'm pretty sure he's a fucking psychopath. Like,
how many episodes are you? Have you seen 2 of these episodes, Chris?
I'm in season 5, episode 26. But the things that he says is
just started.
Because he's like the crap he says. I'm pretty sure he's killed someone.
No, he's just out there. He's just a weird person.
Yeah, it's severely weird.
He's a nerd. I mean, he just knows a lot, but I don't think any. I don't know. I disagree with the whole psychopath thing.
I know. I'm just making something funny because like it's just like his personality is just like.
What if you just
like...
what if you just completely like shattered his thoughts on the show and like now he's never gonna watch it again? Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
He really liked it. You know what?
Pam is Dwight. Shattered.
Shattered. Yeah.
I don't know. Just.
I don't know. I like the Office. I think that
it is really cool. Like, I think the only two honest characters are Pam and Jim, because that's
Pam and Jim.
like, yeah, because
it sounds like a sitcom.
Everyone else would have like, kind of does.
Yeah, ABC Family.
There should be a spinoff of that from The Office. Pam and Jim.
Pam and Jim.
Format.
They were talking about a reunion special for The Office. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how accurate that is, but a lot of the cast members were talking about it. It'd be like a 3-part thing that each one focused on different characters.
Speaking of The Office, do you see Jim Sorrell's new movie, the Last Flag Flying or something?
No, I didn't see that.
Well, like there's a trailer. I don't know when it's coming out, but I think it's really cool because like his son like apparently is died in the army, and then they're trying to like bring him home to bury him at home. So, but the whole like this is actually one of the first times I think I've seen Steve Carell like super serious.
Nah,
he's done a couple other times.
Yeah, he may have even won an award for one of them. Like there was this movie where he plays a coach.
Catching Fire. No, not Catching Fire. It was Foxcatcher or something.
Foxcatcher, I think, is what it was.
Okay, I didn't see that one. That's why.
Is that from recent years?
What?
Is that from recent years?
Yeah,
recent as in like after The Office. So like probably, I don't know, probably like 2008 or 2009, honestly. Maybe it was older.
So like my views of like some actors who only do strictly comedy, but then go into something like serious. I think those people are like super well adapted because like
like, Robin Williams a great example. He's done a lot of that.
Zach Galifianakis, he did a couple of like super funny things, but then he did Bryan Cranston too, and then but yeah, like so like Zach Galifianakis actually in Birdman. That's actually the first time I think I saw him like super serious.
I think so too. Yeah.
I was way off.
I mean, he had a few lines comedic, but he was mostly a serious character. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly serious. It was like a.
I haven't seen Birdman forever. That's a good movie.
I haven't seen Birdman yet.
It's a good movie.
It is really good.
It's like it's not all shot in one take, but it makes you feel like it is. Like there's clearly.
Well, and here's the thing, and I know that is. I know about that. I know it's like edited to make it edit in a very clever way to make it look like it's all done in one shot. But you want to know what?
What?
Let me find it.
What, Mackle?
I have it as a note.
A note? Oh my God, Mackle's gonna read us a note.
There's a foreign film called Victoria, which is apparently really good, and the entire thing is actually done in one take.
That's impossible.
No, it's not. They did it.
You have to have like battery pack upon battery pack upon battery pack.
Apparently, it's good. Like it's a really good movie. It's just it is foreign though. I don't know.
I think it's been done a couple times before. And I think with battery packs, I think there's like some devices I'm sure you could plug in like multiple battery packs in. Like once one thing goes, another just gets hooked on. Like, but it's all the thing is just connected. It's like a strip, but with batteries. I'm sure there's things like that for professional cameras.
There's another movie that I saw on Netflix. It's called Spectral. It's really kind of an interesting take. So what the whole movie is, like there's this new weapon that is like a ghost, and whenever it touches you, you freeze and die. It's like super creepy, but it's like post-apocalyptic, or what is it? Is it post-apocalyptic or?
Well, if everyone but a couple survivors are around, then it's post-apocalyptic.
Spectral, and it's on Netflix.
Spectral.
It was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. Granted, I didn't watch most of it because I was like doing some stuff, but when I saw some like important parts, it was really interesting. Like the fact that these people or like these monsters can like instantly kill someone.
Is it horror based?
Kind of horror, kind of action.
I'm not into that.
It's a science fiction thriller. I'm looking these movies up and talking about them. Do you suggest I add that to my watch list? I have that open now because I just looked up that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. On it.
I actually saw as far as like everything. I really want to see Sicario, and they're coming with a new one.
I saw Sicario, and you know what? I think there's
that one
some great stuff in Sicario.
What's that one action?
I can't get into that one as many other people is. I think that it's a little too slow for me, but people really love that one. And there is stuff about Sicario that I genuinely love. It is extremely well shot. I think it has a super interesting ending. I just think a lot of the movie. I watched it twice, and like the first time I wasn't that into it. The second time I liked it a little more, but maybe if I kept watching, I would like it more and more each time because I did like it more the second time.
Yeah,
it is a very slow movie. Like there's scenes of them driving through different different areas, and they will go on for a really long. Good cinematography to go with it. And the music is fitting for the film, but it's not like it's like very I don't even know how to say. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for right now is, but it's like
bitchin'.
What?
Bitchin'.
I don't know. Like atmosphere. I can't pronounce that word right now. What the hell?
Atmospheric.
Spheric music. I don't know why I can't pronounce that. Jesus Christ.
It's okay.
It's like that type of music. It's not like, it's not music you're gonna listen to while driving.
No. Oh shit! I am dying. My batteries on my computer is dying. Hang on.
Well, I was gonna say we are definitely over an hour here, so
we can wrap it up. I'm happy with this episode.
Save his laptop. Go.
This was a fun one for me. I liked this.
Let's get a shot of Chris's room.
Get a cool shot of his room, all his toys on his top shelf.
That's not nice.
I'm not making fun of.
You just you clearly said it like
I've got a boring as fuck tan wall behind me all the time.
That's better. That's more adult though.
Yeah, but design.
At least call them action figures.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not.
They're not dolls. They're action figures. I can pose them.
You can see a cum stain on one of them.
There's this great improv between, it's just a discussion that Alex Hirsch and Justin Roiland are having in this video, where
they start together.
Roland doing it, but because he's doing the voices of himself and Rick, because he's doing a back and forth between himself, Rick, and Morty. But Alex is kind of throwing stuff in there too, where they're talking about how Justin Roiland has toys all over his office and his house, and how Rick's because he has them boxed though, and he won't take them out of the boxes, and it's a whole quest of Rick and Morty trying to get Justin to open his toys.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen a Rick and Morty episode in forever.
If you're gonna own all these toys, and just own up to it, open them up.
Yeah, I never leave my pops in their boxes because I feel like it's insulting.
I don't know why people do that because the boxes, they're pretty wide. They take up a lot of room.
Exactly.
There's a lot of them.
And
someone that collects all of them. I mean, a lot of storage.
I can agree with people. They make for nice decorations too.
I say get certain brands, not collect all of them. That's ridiculous.
I mean, this is why. Because look how cool these things look.
And they're big too. Honestly, they're the size of your hand.
Why leave them in a box? Exactly.
Yeah, what I was saying is as adults, we're probably not playing with them anymore. So I mean, they're mainly for decoration. They're cool. Yeah, no, they're cool decorations. Yeah. So if you're going to use them for decorations. I mean, I guess you could also argue if you're going to use them to play when you're a kid, having them in the box makes even less sense. But if you're going to use them for decoration,
that's true, actually. Epiphany.
Decoration, then if you have them in the box, you can only see half of it. So what's the point?
Yeah.
You're not enjoying the product for what it is.
Am I a bit of a hypocrite? I only have 4 of these, but I have 4 amiibos, and I keep them in the box right behind my laptop.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have them on display, but because thing is, the pop boxes, they all pretty much look the same except for you see the logos. The amiibos, you have the big picture of the characters behind them, so there's like has a cool background behind them, and they pop. So the boxes look cooler than just the amiibos on their own. That's just
cooler than
amiibos.
this.
I think
It's actually a bobblehead.
Like really, you get a box of a pop filter and you have this. Which looks cooler? If you take this out of the box, it looks less cool, honestly.
Look at this, huh?
But an amiibo with the box. Pop filter boxes look plain and white and bland. These, look at big picture right behind the character. It makes it look popping. Looks really good.
I'm really boring because the only like decorations like that I have up is one. I have this nutcracker for some reason.
Why do you?
I love that brand. That's my favorite franchise.
I don't know. It's here on my desk all the time, and I'm just like I never really. It doesn't mean a lot to me. I wouldn't be upset.
Mike, it's okay. You can admit that he has something special quality to you. He's just like you just stare into the wooden eyes. And...
I want him to be the next Barry Boner, the Bean Boozler.
He's just kind of there. I don't know if I put him up for Christmas one year and then I just forgot to take him down. He's just always there, and I just kind of accept it.
There.
And then I have a Walter White bobblehead.
You should get a nail, pin it up on your wall behind you, and just have the Nutcracker there. Just like a ghost, like always watching.
I do a bunch of costumes I don't use anymore because of across the floor fucking wall. But anyway.
Actually, I do have a paintball gun that I have dismantled and made into a real looking gun, and that's cool. Yeah, like, where is it? Let me find it real quick.
Like, that's not cool. And he's like, yeah.
I'm trying not to, like, stick my finger in ears because I know it's going to be a very gross thing to have me do it on camera, but it's, like, really itchy for some reason.
Well, get a tissue. Wrap it up on your finger.
You get a tissue and put it in your finger.
I will. I have one right next to me, coincidentally enough.
I will shoot that right off your face.
Oh, I have your butt in there. There.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Greatest pioneer.
I saw a video recently from an old, I think it was a Dumb and Dumber prequel movie. Like, just the final scene in the movie, he walks in, there's shit all over the wall, and it's like, apparently, it was legitimately hilarious. He's just saying over and over, there's shit all over my walls. I don't know, just watch it. It's like, it's just because of Bob Saget and his delivery, I feel like. It's just like, he's clearly, like, bullshitting him. I don't know, it's just really funny.
It is funny to hear that.
I've never seen the movie, but like I saw the comment section. They said like, best part of the movie, Bob Saget.
That Bob Saget was on Full House. So weird.
You're weird.
We
should end this episode.
Fuck you.
Domestic
abuse.
All right, we'll end it here.
Else?
All right, should I end it here? Or do you want to say more?
Oh, I was gonna ask if anyone else had any like thing else they wanted to talk about. I'm good.
Penis.
I mean, I don't think we should go on for too much longer. We're over an hour.
I don't think so either. I'm just asking if anyone else has anything. I'm good.
There's one more. I don't know if you've even.
Just asking Chris.
Yeah, I think I'm good, bro. I've talked about my breakthrough and I've talked about like my channel stuff, and I'm all good.
I was gonna say quick. I don't even know if you saw the episode, but like the Shane Dawson episode on H3 podcast was very surprising. Listening. It was. I really enjoyed the whole episode.
I normally.
They work very well off of each other. They have good chemistry.
Cool. I really like anything with H3, like with the H3 podcast. They're very long episodes, so I can't really dedicate myself to listening to them. But I mean, I might continue listening to it. I definitely do listen to the ones with YouTubers I already know well. Shane Dawson, I don't know him that well. I know he's been around for a long time on this website.
I don't know. It's just a very interesting.
I actually was on his like comment section defending him when the whole allegation thing came out because it made me really.
That was dumb.
Just one of those things that made me really angry about people reacting on Twitter. So like, even though I don't watch his stuff, never have, and probably never will, I was like, yeah, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
They can go fuck themselves.
Ethan Neal kind of announced on that episode too, like they're trying to like make their own company where like they can help other people like have their own podcast, kind of like an NBC have their own studio, and like like Shane's podcast was canceled because it was owned by Fullscreen, and Fullscreen like stopped because of Disney. So if H3 was able to help. They were like talking about to him, like if we get this thing up and running, you could bring your podcast back on our thing, our company.
Let's get DuckCast on there.
Woo!
Come on, we're bringing it to the H3. We'll get approved.
Yeah, we will, or kill someone trying.
Do you think if Ethan and Gila were forced, not by us, but forced to sit through all 53 episodes of DuckCast, they would grow to love us?
I think they would. I mean, we're lovable characters.
I don't know if they can get through the first 3 episodes, but
no, they're forced to. They have to.
Yeah.
Those machines,
Yeah.
We're not doing it. We're not the ones forcing them to do it, because obviously they won't want to if we're guilty of.
But wouldn't we be suspected to if they're watching our episodes? Doesn't matter if we did it or not. Someone's gonna suspect that maybe we're involved in it in some way.
We just gotta get someone crazy enough to do it, like Cody.
You just said we gotta get, so we are a part of it. We got someone to do it for us. You just admitted to it.
No, I'm saying because hypothetical situation.
Oh, sure. Hypothetically, we get someone to do it for us.
And Cody could be the one who does it, and then they just
we get Cody to do it for us.
Right? Cody's not allowed to be a guest anymore.
Or we get him to sing first you take your finger and you shove it up my ass. That stupid song that he did.
Yeah.
That was very what, 2016, 2015?
That was 2016,
great job.
Probably. I think that's when I did Tamagotchi one. I think.
Yeah.
Great job, Chris. You tried.
Shut up.
I'll probably release a new episode of that someday.
We should probably end this episode. I keep saying that over and over, but
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Peace. Bye. Hope you had a good time.
Chris, famous last words. Go.
Penis.